Hello, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Priyanka, representative of Tantra Minds. A very warm welcome, everyone, to our webinar. We are excited to be able to bring this informative and engaging discussion today. We know your time is valuable, so we want to make the most of it. So thanks for shedding out time from your busy schedules and be the part of this webinar. Today, we are presenting Automate Invoicing Process. Automate API invoicing processes with Tantra Minds Invoice Management Platform. So we'll quickly run through our panelists and we'll talk about Tantra Minds. And agenda of today's webinar will bring some light upon products and services offered by Tantra Minds. We'll talk about traditional AP processes, challenges in this process, how our platform could be the solution to these, demo to give you a glimpse of our portal, and we will conclude this session by answering your queries. So just a little housekeeping before we start. Please feel free to post your queries and concerns in the chat box. We will definitely address them during question and answer session. So, yes. It gives me immense pleasure. Yes. Speakers of the day, it gives me immense pleasure to get an opportunity to introduce speakers of the day, Mr. Chandan Nigudkar, Delivery Head of Tantra Minds. He is an IT professional with solid experience in global IT service delivery, account management, project, process management for global clients with 20 plus years of hands-on experience. Mr. Nitin Deshmukh, he is leading product development team of Tantra Minds. He is the key person in terms of project development, execution, and solution architect. So without a further ado, we'll turn the time over to Mr. Chandan to give our audience insight of Tantra Minds and talk about the product. So please, over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Priyanka. A very warm welcome to all of our attendees today. Thanks for making time from your busy schedules, and hope this webinar helps you to understand some of the issues, challenges, trends, and you will be able to tackle some of these using our products from the Tantra Mind. So quickly, I know the main area or topic is of most importance. So I will keep the introduction very short and brief, and then we will jump into today's session. So quick about Tantra Mind, who we are. So Tantra Mind is part of an Amdhan group of companies. We are a technology group specializing specifically in SAP consulting through our Amdhan brand. And also we have products and product offerings which are delivered through Tantra Minds brand. Tantra Mind is basically become as a product company. We have cutting edge products which are based on AI/ML technologies and then which are helping our customers tackling their pain points and overcoming day-to-day challenges in various aspects of different lines of business. As an organization, we are a combination of consulting workforce as well as a technology workforce. So that gives us a dual advantage when we are developing our own products, as we have a very strong understanding of our business processes across various industries like manufacturing, retail, utilities, pharma, and automotive. Sorry, I was okay. Sorry, my video was off. Okay. We also have a strong technical and architecture team, development team. And with this combination, we are bringing a set of innovative products to the market. If you can see, we are a global company. We have presence in Europe and India. Our headquarters is in Europe. We have an offshore delivery center and development center in Pune. We have a large customer base which spreads across Europe and India. So now I will go next slide, please. So I will just give you a quick snapshot of set of products that we offer under Tantra Mind brand. And then today's focus would be on the invoice management solution, the first one on the left hand side. So anyway, we would be speaking that in detail. So I will just move around and then quickly go through remaining products. So we have a customer and supply collaboration portal, which we call it as a CS Collab, where we have a customer portal and a supplier portal. As we believe, customers, whether it is supplier or customer, is an heart of journey. And if their experience is better, as an organization, we also get a better services from the supplier, and then we are able to provide a better services to our customers. The supplier portal has various modules, starting from vendor onboarding, where we onboard the vendor, we verify their documents, we attach the required documents, and then subsequently getting the vendor created into the ERP system. Also, then it has a sourcing module, which covers quotation request, sending quotations to multiple vendors, comparison between the responses from the vendors, and then finally creating a PO into SAP. The P2P hub, which is another module, which provides visibility from purchase order to payment. Also, we provide ASN functionality. Also, it has a e-catalog functionality where suppliers can upload their catalogs, buyers can compare the services and good, they can visually see the products and things, and finally creating a PR with the shopping cart experience and the functionality. So that's quickly about the CS Collab. We also have our own ERP product, which covers all the core modules like sales, materials management, finance, production planning, procurement, asset accounting, etc. It is a leading ERP product based on an AI ML technologies, as I said, with our focus from our ERP is to make sure that we deliver a lot of automation which are inbuilt within our ERP. So the business users can free up their time from their manual processes like O2C or P2P cycle, payment cycles, etc. So that's the key focus from our TantraMind ERP. Next is the e-procurement suite. So the organizations which are looking at the end-to-end procurement solution, we recommend this product. This has a sourcing platform covering requests for quotation, tendering, auction, project creation that is required for the strategic sourcing, and etc. It also includes procure to pay solution, which covers the catalog based shopping experience that we generally see we get on the B2C world, as most of you would have been using Amazon or similar portal. But if you come to the enterprise world, we do not see that kind of experience and exposure. So our product, our aim is to kind of give Amazon like buying experience to end users in the enterprise world. So for direct purchasing, indirect purchasing, etc. So that was about e-procurement. We also have inventory or warehouse management for the organizations who are looking for their complete warehousing management needs, covering inbound and outbound warehouse management. And the last one is a analytics product, which is basically we are having a pre-built dashboards. So these dashboards are plug and play with ERP and specifically suiting for SAP as a ERP. These are the pre-built dashboards typically being used at the CXO level. So for example, be it's a CFO dashboard, head of sales dashboard for CEOs. All this data will be taken from ERP system processing, and then the dashboards are displayed. The advantage of these are all pre-built dashboards. So deployment time is, or the requirement gathering time and the solution time is reduced because these are pre-built dashboard. We just show this dashboard to the end use to the customers and decide which dashboard suits best and then do the customizing. So this is not to be developed from scratch. So the advantage here is it reduces some time to implement these dashboards. Again, these all dashboards are work on any technologies like ClickSense, Power BI, Tableau, etc. So that was a quick overview of TantraMind's products. And with that, I will hand it over to our main topic, and I will hand it over to Nitin. So over to you, Nitin. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, thank you, Chandan sir. Thank you, Priyanka. I appreciate the introduction. So I would
Thank
like
you
to
so much,
welcome.
Nitin.
Yeah,
I don't want to interrupt you during the demo, so I would just like to request everyone to post your queries in the question and answer box so that we'll be able to address all of them in the last session, in question and answer session. So thank you so much, Nitin. Please.
yeah. So first of all, I would like to welcome all attendees here, and it's great to be speaking with you, all of you today. I will be the host for the webinar of invoice automations by Tantramite. And on going to the agenda, we are talking about some traditional account payable process. Then we will see our invoice management solution, and the end we will see the demo. So in this slide, you can see the traditional account payable process. So we have been introducing our invoice management product in front of many companies through the demos, through the websites, and through the marketing flyers. So during this, we are receiving some interesting feedbacks about the traditional account payable process that I want to highlight here. So in this slide, you can see the account payable process divided into three parts. So first part, you can see we are receiving the invoices. And second part, you can see the validations and approval of those invoices. And in third part, you can see the posting of invoices. So when supplier deliver the goods or services, obviously there would be an invoice sent because suppliers want to be paid. And as per my knowledge, there will be a lots of paper coming, and most of the invoices you might receive by the post. Hopefully, it will coming into a centralized account payable department. So after receiving the invoices, they open the envelope and file those invoices on the desk and go for the further process. And some supplier have gone already step further. They are trying to eliminate the paper process, but you have a manual process. So because of that, you have to take the printout internally so that it can flow with your rest of the invoices at this stage of the account payable process. So here you can see the account payable work will start here. So the work start with the verification of the invoices. So in this account payable plug, check that does it match with the PO, which we call two-way matching. Then he will check does it match with the PO and GR to confirm the delivery, which we call a three-way matching. And if there is an exception in a two-way or three-way matching, then it will have to go through the exception handling workflow. And if invoice not related to the purchase order, then this will have to go through the approval workflow. As I've seen in some companies, if the approver is sitting in a different business unit, or they put the invoices in the envelope and send it to that approver for the approval. For that, they are using the internal courier facilities. Also, sometime account payable clerk walked down to find out the approver and requested them for the approval. So during this process, suppliers start the inquiries about the invoices, like have you received my invoices, when I'm going to be paid. As you can see at the bottom of the slide, there are one timeline in which we can see that the time we require to post the invoice in a ERP from the day of receiving the invoices. And here you can see, by following the traditional account payable process, the invoices is being booked after the due date. And due to this, company has to pay some extra amount, due amount. And in this case, the company lose some discounts and miss some discount. So in next slide, we will see how the Tantra mind will overcome that painful process. But before going into the that slide, we will see the pain points which involve in a traditional account payable process. So now coming to the next slide, please. So these are the challenges in a traditional account payable process: high cost of invoice handling. So because here manually we are handling the invoices, so obviously we need some users to handle those invoices. So the cost might be uh, increased due to this. Then second is manual paper and spreadsheet based invoices handling. So here we have to handle the invoices manually. Poor and time consuming invoices, exception handling is also poor. And there might be a chance of the duplicate invoices as well. Also the weak and fraud protections. It will also implies the insufficient controls on the invoices. The lack of feasibility, performance-based KPIs, high number of supplier inquiries, because here we are manually posting these invoices, manually we are approving these invoices to the internal department. So due to this, the supplier will continuously call to take the follow up their invoices. Then long invoice cycle is here. Due to this, the late payment fee will occur, and obviously we miss some discounts by following this process. Now coming to the next slide, we will see how account payable process. So before jump into the account payable process, I would like to explain this slide. So first, here you can see companies spend their monies to buy the goods and services, but at the end of the company has to decide whether that spend is a pre-approved or not. So pre-approved usually implies that you have a purchase requisitions and approval workflow before eventually you send the purchase order to the supplier. But as I mentioned earlier, there is also user-driven process where your employees make a decision and request goods or services directly from the suppliers without a prior approval. And also in this slide, you can see that there is an interesting survey from the financial consulting firm. They can they have taken a review from 2000 users from the different companies, and here you can see 30% of user is following the without following the pre-approved process, and 70% users are following the pre-approved process. So the survey you can see here. So first one is that the financial control. I see for you have no clues about this thing that is not pre-approved, and you only discover it when the account payable team enters those invoices into the ERP. And second one, actually, this will impact the way you deal with the invoices. Obviously, the invoices that are not related to the PO, meaning that they that invoices that spend is not a pre-approved. So we will see how TantraMind's invoice management solution will overcome these situations in our organizations. Now coming to the next slide, please. So account payable automations by TantraMinds enable companies to touchlessly process the supplier invoice without human interventions. It provides a digital workflow to manage the step previously handled by manually the account payable staff members. So holistic account payable automation enables the automated start to finish a business payment processing. And this start with the software that capture the invoice data in the digital format by optical character recognition that we call OCR. Then AP application then classify, matches, and validate the extracted data. And after that, forward those data to the financial system or ERP for the posting. So this is short introduction about our invoice management solution. Now coming to the next slide. So this is the high level process flow of our invoice management application. So that process flow divided into 6 parts. So first part is the invoice receipt. Second part is a data extraction. Third part, you can see the data validations and processing. Fourth part, you can see the matching. Fifth is a exception handling, workflow, approval. And last one is a post of invoice. So we will see one by one. So first of all, here you can see we are receiving the invoices through the 3 different channels. First, we are receiving the hard copies of the invoices. Second, we are receiving the invoices on the email. And third, you can see the self-service portal. So we have our vendor portal where supplier can log into the portal. They can upload their invoices directly. So first we will see the paper. Here you can see we are receiving the hard copies of the invoices. So that hard copy will receive by your account payable clerk. Then account payable clerk will scan those invoices and feed those invoices into our application for the extraction. In second way, you can see we are receiving the PDF copies on email. So our application read the account payable email and try to extract the PDF which the supplier have attached to that email. And after the extract that attachment, it will extract the important data using the OCR. And in third way, supplier is uploading their invoices using our sales service portal. So here we have received the invoices. We will see the second part now. So in a data extraction, our OCR will extract the important data which is necessary for the validations. As you know, for the validation, we need the vendor name on the invoice. We need the invoice number to be captured. We need invoice date, quantity, and much more thing. And after the extraction, the validation process will start. So here you can see the invoice data validations. So once our application extract all the mandatory information, so user will check all the fields are extracted or not. And after extraction of all the data, then automation will start. Our application will automatically identify the duplications. We configured some criteria to identify the duplication in an invoice. After the duplication, then we will send those invoices for the two-way, three-way matching. So here our application automatically checks the two-way and three-way matching. Here our application check the price of that invoices. Whatever the price supplier have mentioned on these invoices, it will match that price with the purchase order. After that, it will also check the good receipt, which is whether it is happened or not. After that, if we are receiving some exception in between that process, for example, the price of that invoices is not matching with the purchase order, so that time our application will trigger the workflow to approve these invoices. Can you please stay on the So here our application automatically assign the work item to that particular approver to take the action on that particular invoices where the exception is triggered. And after reviewing all the invoices and handling all those exceptions, then that invoice will automatically get posted into the ERP. So this is all about our solution that we have. Now coming to the next slide. So while implementing and while testing the invoice management applications, we got some KPIs using our application. So first KPI is the time for processing of single invoices. So in this section, you can see the industry benchmark, 17 days required to process that invoice. And top performance companies where they are using the invoice management solution, it could be 8 to 8.3 or 3 to 7 days. So here you can see why it is important, the faster invoice processing, competitive payment terms. Also in the second, you can see the cost for processing the single invoices. So here you can see the $10 for an industry benchmark. And here you can see the 6% lower than that. It reduced the operational cost as well. And third, you can see the number of invoices processed per day by the account payable staff. So you know that when we manually identifying the duplication, we manually validate the data. So there might be a chance to process the number of invoices per day. So here you can see the number of invoices processed by month. And here you can see when the user have application like invoice management, they can process the 8,000 or up to 20,000 invoices per month. It improve the staff productivity, enable employees to generate the greater values. Also, we are handling the exceptions as well. So in fourth column, you can see invoice exception handling rate. So in manual process, you can see the 22.6%. And here you can see the top performing companies, the rate is 10.7. So touchless invoice processing improve the payment accuracy as well. So the percentage of invoices related to the purchase order. So some of the companies, the 50% invoices they have related to the purchase order, but top performance company might have near about 75% of invoices which is related to the purchase order, and it improve the payment accuracy. So this is all about the KPIs that we discovered while testing and while using this application in a different organizations. Now coming to the next slide. Now this is the poll questions.
Thank you, Lynn, for the. I will request all the attendees to have a quick poll before we start the demonstration. So yes, the first question of the poll is on your screens. I'll read out for you. Please make your choices. What challenges are you facing in the purchase invoicing process? This is a multiple choice question. You have your choices like difficulty in managing and tracking payments, slow processing, mismatch in invoice and PO details, sending payment before delivery, double payment. Please make your votes for this multiple choice question. Much appreciated. So thanks, Nitin. Over to you again for the demonstration.
Yeah, sure. So just give me a few seconds. I will set up my system and try to share my screen.
Yes. Meanwhile, we'll reshare the question so that if someone has missed it out, so they can make their choices.
Yeah. So I hope all attendees answered the questions, poll questions. So right now I'm sharing my screen for the demo.
Yes, and just a reminder that during the demo, please, if you have any queries and concerns, please feel free to put it in the chat box or question and answer session.
Yeah. So I hope my screen is visible for all of us.
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, thank you for the confirmation, Priyanka. So this is the login screen of our invoice management applications. And here we have a different roles like account payable clerk, buyer roles. We have the store user roles. We have so different roles we have. But right now I'm logging as an account payable clerk and see how many invoices I received whole day and how many invoices get successfully extracted the data, and how many invoices successfully validated by validate the business rules and posted into the SAP. So right now this is the credentials I have as an account payable clerk. So after login, I will be landed on this dashboard. So in this dashboard, you can see, first of all, I would like to explain, here we have given the date filter. So if you want to filter the records as per the date, so you can filter it from here. And here you can see 4 tiles. First one is a fail to capture. Second one is a failed business rules. One is a third one is a all invoices, and fourth one is a posted of invoices. I will explain one by one. So first we will see fail to captures. So you know that to validate the invoice, we need some information to be extracted from the invoice for the successful validations of the business rule. So if our application failed to extract that important informations like the invoice number, invoice date, vendor name, the line item informations in which rate of rate of the material has been mentioned. So if our application failed to extract that important data, so you know that some invoices we received in the form of JPG. So in that image format, we can say, and if the quality of that image is not good, so in that case our application failed to capture some important fields. So in that case, that invoice will automatically move into the fail to capture tab. And here also we can see, so if our application successfully extracted all the data from the invoices, so here you can see the extraction status. So here you can see the extracted. Extracted indicates that our application successfully captured all the informations which is required for the validations. Also here you can see fail. So fail indicate that our application failed to capture some important information. So on this landscape, you can see the vendor code is missing, means our application failed to identify the vendor code of that invoices. That's why the showing it will show the status as a fail. So right now, I just open the system, open one particular invoice and try to explain the landing page, how the invoice will look like if the account pay, I log in as an account payable clerk and I want to see what are the fields is getting extracted and what are the data has been validated by our applications. So if I click on the invoice detail button, it will open a new window or it will open a new page. So in this page, you can see, so it will take time to load that page. So in this, you can see on the right hand side, you can see the PDF copy that supplier have sent. So just me scroll up. Yeah. So this is the PDF copy supplier have sent. And in the left hand side, you can see the extracted information which is captured by our application. Also, at the top of the page, you can see the expand right and expand left. So if you want to see the better view of the extraction, then you have to click on the expand right. So you can see all the information which is extracted from the invoices. So here you can see the important information we have extracted, where that is the vendor name. That vendor name is available here. Also, our application successfully captured the tax related informations. So here you can see the tax related informations, vendor recipient, vendor address. Here the important field which is a service. This is the service invoice. So here you can see the invoice number, invoice date we captured. The customer name means our company name, which is an Nexus Manufacturing Limited. Also, it successfully captured the tax information, tax ID of the customer. Also here you can see it is successfully captured the purchase order number, which is mentioned on the invoice. So if I click on the expand left, here you can see that purchase order mentioned on this invoices. Here you can see the invoice reference. So our application have taken this invoice number from this PDF. Yeah, so if I scroll it down, so here you can see the line item information. So this is the line item information. So this is the service invoice. So here you can see the parking bay fees, unit of measures, ship quantities, the line item, unit price, amount. So all this data is being extracted from this PDF. If I click on the left, so this is the line item information, and our application captured successfully all these informations. If I scroll it down, so here you can see the invoice summary. This is the invoice summary. And here you can see the tax information captured. It failed to capture the rate, but it successfully captured the values of these invoices. If I click on view validations, then it will show all the validations successfully uh, passed by our applications or passed by the invoices. Here you can see the vendor name is matching, invoice duplication successfully matched, means the invoice is not duplicated. The PO match, our application confirmed that this PO mentioned on this invoice is belongs to that vendor only. Then here you can see the description match. The description matches belongs to the line item determinations. Then the PO price match, which is the important validation. So PO of that invoice is so price of that invoice is matching with the price of the purchase order. Here you can see the good receipt. It also confirmed that we have received the good. And third one is showing that we have successfully posted this invoice into the backend ERP system. So if user want to see what PO we have raised against that invoice, so here you know that we have successfully captured the purchase order number from the invoice. And if user want to see what is the purchase order related to that invoice, so here we have given one button. If I click on that button, so it will open the purchase order that we created. So this is the purchase order we have created. User can see what are the purchase order we have created. But if we want to see that invoice is a service invoice, so we need to see what are the services mentioned in the purchase order. If I click on the service tab, then I will be able to see the purchase services that I have mentioned on the purchase order. Now coming to our application. So again, I'm click on the expand right. And here you can see we have given add new line item. Here also we have given a remove button. So if our application failed to capture the line item information, so in that case, user can click on that add new line item. Our application will automatically add the new line item at the bottom of the current line item. And then user will enter the data here. So if our application failed to capture some line item information, you know that if our application failed to capture the price of that line item, then user will be able to add new line item and fill all the data which is mentioned on the PDF. And after that, if our application by mistakenly captured a wrong line item, so here we have given the remove button to remove the line item, to remove the wrong line item. So this is all about the application. So for the demo, I have picked some invoices. And as you know, I told you earlier, we are sending invoices to our application through the three different medium. The first one, we take the printout and submit it to our applications. Second way is we are sending the invoices on email, and third way is a self-service portal. But for the demo, I'm using the email facilities. I'm as a supplier, I'm sending the invoices to our application, and we will see on live demo how our application will capture the data from that invoices and validate that invoices. So let me check. So this is the invoice I have. So I will show you the PDF first. So this is the invoice I have. I'm sending this invoice to our application on the email, and we will see how our application will work on this invoice. So just let me open my email. So I'm sending the invoice to the application. Then our application will automatically read the attachment from that email. So we have an account payable email ID. It's trail. So this is the account payable email ID I have. And I'm attaching the copy here. Now we have to wait for a few seconds to identify, to read the email and to extract the data. For that, I'm keep pressing the refresh to see what invoice we have sent and what invoice we received. Yeah. So here you can see, so this invoice just I have sent, and right now it is showing the fail. So it will take time to extract the data and to get the data. So if I click on the more details button, yeah. So here you can see our application captured this information from this invoice, but our application failed to capture some tax related informations. That's why the extraction status is showing fail. But that customer tax ID, which belongs to our organization, so we are not validating that ID here. So we are just trying to get the important field whether captured or not. So here you can see the invoice number has been captured successfully. Here you can see the invoice date has been captured. The purchase order number which is mentioned on the invoice. If I click on the PDF copy, so here you can see this is the PDF copy I have sent, and same the PO number has been extracted from that invoice. Also you can see the line item information also successfully captured. So this is the captured information. So if I click on the view validations, so it will show that the vendor name is match, invoice duplication is match, PO rate is also matching, PO also match, description match. So this is the validations all get matched. GR is getting matched. But right now the application did not post that invoice to the ERP because we need to approve that invoice from the approver. So if I click on the line item, so here you can see it is not able to determine the which line item belongs to the purchase order. So here we have given one options. If user want to check what line item we have mentioned in the purchase order, if I click on this, so here you can see the line item which is available in the purchase order. And if we want to see what are the line items available on the purchase order, so first of all, I just click on that and click on save. So if I want to see the purchase order raised by our organization, so I just click on the open. So here I can see I will be able to see that the purchase order we raised for that invoices, and here we can see the rate. So this is the net price, and if I click on our application, so here also we can see the rate of that invoices. So our application successfully matched the rate as well. Also it will extract the line item, and also it will extract the summary as well. Yeah. So if I click on the expand right, so right now I can see all the extracted information. This is the material code that we have extracted from the invoice. This is the material code we have on the invoice, also the description and all other informations. So this is all about, and if we want to approve this, if I click on the approve buttons, then that invoice get approved, and then it will automatically posted into the backend ERP system. So this is all about our applications, what we have and what we developed. If you have this application, no need to validate manually, need to validate the duplication, no need to validate the two-way matching, three-way matching. By using these applications, company can handle all these invoices touchlessly. They can validate invoices online and post that invoices into the backend ERP system. So just let me check whether it is posted or not. So here you can see that invoice has been posted into the backend ERP system. It will show the status success. If I want to see how many invoices get successfully posted into the ERP, I just click on the posted invoices button. So these are the invoices get posted into the backend ERP system. And if you want to see upfront what are the validations and what are the important fields which is necessary for the capture, I just click on this button. So these are the fields which is required to capture from the invoice and which is important for the validation. Near about 10 fields we are validating in our application, but this application is totally customizable. If you want to add some customized fields on that form, and if you want to validate that information, we can validate it. So these are the extraction informations that we validated. But if you want to see the validation status, what are the data we are validated in that invoice, just here we have given one button. If I click on that, it will show that the vendor name is matching, invoice duplication successfully matched, then PO price, PO successfully determined. This PO is belongs to that vendor. Then here you can see the description, line item determined successfully, the PO price is matched. So all data get matched and it will get automatically posted into the backend ERP system. So this is all about our applications that we have developed. Yeah, so I will hand over to Priyanka for the further process.
Thank you, Nitin. Thank you to demonstrate our product and enlighten us about its benefits and how it would be the great suit for the accounts payable issues. So, hello attendees, thanks for sticking around. It would be a great request to ask for a poll question that will appear on your screen now. Hope you have liked the demo. So yes, the second question we have is, are you interested in one-to-one demo of our invoice management solution? Please make your choices. We'll wait for a few seconds to let everyone vote it. And thanks for your questions in the chat box. We'll proceed with that.
So some
Hello,
questions
Nitin. Yes.
we received.
So yeah.
How can tool restrict the duplicate invoices? Yes. So here we have defined certain criteria to check the duplications. We are taking 3 fields from the invoices, the vendor name. First, we identify the vendor name, then we will try to get the vendor code, which is available in our backend ERP system. So we are taking the vendor code there. Then we are identifying the financial year from the invoice date. So we know that the financial year will start from the April and it will end with March, 31st March. So from that date, we will try to try to identify the financial year of that invoices. And second one is the invoice number. So by using 3 criteria, we determine if we receive the same invoice in the same financial year, so our application will automatically identifies that this invoice is get duplicated, and it will automatically trigger the email to that particular suppliers, and it will tell that you have sent the duplicate invoice. So that criteria we have implemented. So second question is how to ensure the compliance with the indirect uses of the SAP. Yeah. So for that, as per my knowledge, we require the indirect license if we are integrating the third-party applications using web service with the SAP.
But to add one more point on top of what Nitin said, there are 2 ways of our invoice management system. The one way is the direct integration, and the second way is the FTP based as well. So using the FTP based, we can extract the invoice from the folder, and we can post it into the backend system, which will take a couple more seconds extra than the integrated one. That's right, Nitin. I just wanted to add that point.
Yeah, Kaushik, right.
There is one more question that we received. Have we stored SAP accounting doc number against invoice upload portal?
Yes, because when we are posting the invoice using our application to SAP, so while posting the invoice, so at that time we are receiving the same number from the SAP, and we are storing same number in our application, and we are showing same invoice number in front of that record that we have extracted from that invoice. Yes, we are showing that invoice number as well. So can it be integrated with the Microsoft Business Central? Yes, we can integrate these applications with any application, cloud-based application or on-premise application using the APIs. We are using APIs to get the data from the Microsoft Business Central, and using APIs on bot, we are pushing the data from our application to the Microsoft Business Central. If one vendor has 2 TDS code, then how the system will work? Okay. So yes, so if 2 vendors have a 2 different TDS code, so obviously we have to we have to enter that TDS code in our vendor master database as well. And if we are receiving the invoice from that particular vendor, we will try to check that TDS number is related to which masters we have maintained in our backend system. Then it will automatically identifies that TDS is related to this vendor masters. So
Yeah, thank you, Nitin, for addressing 2 questions. So we can proceed with the PPT, and then we have another 5 minutes for question and answer. We can take it forward there.
yeah, and also you can see on the screen, these are the analytics we have developed on our invoice management. So that analytics, we can make it as a landing page if you want. So if user log into the login in our application, then they will get a clear idea about what the amount of invoices we received and how much amount of invoice get extracted, get received. And here you can see, so these are the total overdue invoices. So that analytics already we have developed. And if you want to make it as a landing page, then we can make it. Yeah.
Yeah, before we wind up, the last poll, and we'll take the rest of question and answer
Sorry for
after
the
this poll.
Priyanka. We got another
Yes.
questions. In invoice have more than one page. Can it be captured? Yes. Our application can capture all the informations. If your invoice have two pages, it will identify the header data, and it will try to get if the second page have another line item, then our application automatically picks that line item only from the second page. In invoicing directly getting posted SAP, or it will be in a park mode. Yes, if you want to post it is in a park mode, then we can do it. So right now we directly posted into the SAP, but if you want to park it, we can park it. Yeah. Sorry, Priyanka, please continue.
Yeah, I think we had the poll, and thanks for addressing the question meanwhile. So we got few responses over the third poll. But yeah, we'll wait for a second to let everyone do that. So yes, we are done with the poll. Thank you, Nitin. So we have one or two couple of questions in question and answer box. So can you please address those? Hello, Nitin.
Yes. So how can we see the GRN of the PO? Yeah. So yes, this form is totally customizable. As I shown you that in the line item, we are showing the GR open quantity. But if you want to show the GR number as well, so we can show it there. And how it capture from the mail. So actually, we are using email bot, which is developed by the Microsoft to read the invoices from that particular email. So that email also belongs to the Microsoft. So we are using the bot to capture the data. Yes.
There is one more question: how it captured from mail, from the email?
Yeah. So you just answered the questions. We are using the email bot.
Yes, yes.
We are using the email bot developed by the Microsoft. If you have an Office 365 subscription, and if you're account payable user using the Microsoft email ID, then already we have developed the bot provided by the Microsoft. So using that bot, we are capturing the data from the email. And also, if do not have the Office 365 subscription for the extraction, so we have provided another way. We have our supplier portal where your supplier will log into the portal. If if the suppliers want to see the purchase order, the good receipts, so using our supplier portal, they will be able to upload the invoices. They can see their purchase order. They can reconcile their statement as well. So we have another portal as well, which is integrated with the invoice management solution. So by three way we are sending the invoices. And first way, as I told you earlier, we can if we are receiving the hard copies of that invoices, and if we So we need to scan those hard copies, and we have provided some storage. So you have to upload that invoice into that storage, and from that storage, our application picks the files, reads the informations, and extract the informations. So three way we are providing for the invoice reading. Yeah.
This invoice management is supported for the material, services, non-PO invoice scenarios as well.
Yeah.
So any type that utility or manufacturing company that is doing, all the scenarios can be supported, and we can showcase this. We can showcase that based on the business requirement. This portal is highly customizable, and we can show whatever data that we need, and we can definitely create in whatever way we need.
Yeah.
Can it capture multiple invoice scanned in one mail?
Yeah. Also, it will be able to process the non-PO invoices as well. So you know that if we want to post the non-PO invoices into SAP or any other application, we just need to identify what cost center we just required for the posting, what GL number which is required. So all the master data, GL and cost center master user will select on the front end of our applications in that form. And using that GL code and using that cost center, our application send those data to the backend ERP system for the posting. So like that way, our application posts the non-PO invoices as well. But before postings, we have configured some workflow, because this is the non-PO invoices. We know that the purchase order not been raised for that invoices, and we need to approve that invoices from the proper approver. So we have a approval workflow. So before post the invoice into the SAP, using that approval workflow, our system will forward these invoices to that proper approver. Then the approver will approve that invoice, and after the approving this invoice, it will get automatically posted into the SAP system. So if you want to post non-PO invoices, there will be a two-step. First, we need to identify which GL code related to that invoices, which cost center belongs to that invoices. After identifying the cost centers and GL accounts, we forward those invoices to the approver to approve it. And when approver approve these invoices, then that invoice will automatically get posted or parked into the backend ERP system. And these applications can be integrated with any other ERP. If you have a Oracle, Microsoft Dynamics, and any other ERP in the market like Odoo ERP, ERP Next, Lighthouse. So this application can be integrated with any other ERP.
I see one more question. Will this system support PDF format only, or it can support in another format also? I'll take this question. So yes, it supports all the types of formats of invoices. Either it is in Excel, Word, or in a Notepad, or the PDF format, or the CSV format. Once maybe at the starting we have to train the AI tool that these are the ones that can be expected. But after a couple of invoices went in through the system, the AI tool will automatically learn which PDF that is coming in and what data it has to be extracted, and based on that it will extract the data. But yes, the short answer, it will accept any type of format. We can extract the data from any type of format.
So if any reason posted invoice to be reversed in a SAP, and the same workflow has been closed in the tool, what will be the process for the same invoice? Okay. Yeah, so due to some reason, some of the invoice get reversed into the system. So you know that if we want to reverse any invoice, we have to post some transaction with the reference of that posted invoice. So using that reference, we can modify our portal, that invoice we have extracted from using our application. We can modify the status of that invoice in our application as well. And second one is a vendor having two different places of the business, different state. PO is raised in one business place and supply is made from the other business place. So how our application will react to these situations? This is from the GST point of view. So as you know that when a supplier is supplying the goods from the other state, the tax code it will be different. So if we are receiving the goods from the different state, so we know that the supplier has to mention the 𝐼𝐺ST on that invoices, and also the e-way bill is also the compulsory for that. So we are receiving the invoices from the different state. So in that invoice, we know that the GST number is a mention. So for two different business places, there might be a possibility of a two different GST numbers. So we have to we have to maintain that GST information of that particular vendors on in our applications. And using that, we can identify that this invoice belongs to that vendors, and we just try to extract the data. But we need to understand your requirement in a details. So I hope Priyanka will call you for the same, and will try to understand your exact requirement, what you have to say.
Exactly. In the next slide, we can find the information about Tantra Minds. So please, you can reach out to our team, Priyanka from sales perspective, and Venkat from the pre-sales organization, pre-sales connection perspective. So please drop any emails. This recording and slide pack will be shared after the meeting for the information. And if that is all, those are the last questions that I saw. And we are on right time, so I think we can conclude the call here if we don't have any queries anymore.
Yeah, thank you so much for addressing all the queries. Thank you all the panelists. Thank you Nitin, Kaushik, Chandan sir. So before we wind up, I'll just like to give my deepest gratitudes to all the attendees and the panelists for joining this webinar. We appreciate your participation, and especially the comments and the questions you put forward made value to the discussion. So please feel free to contact us for any further queries or assistance. Once again, thank you so much. Thank you.